May 2022, 2025. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on the 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. It was kind of sideways, very, very choppy. It looks like it was two legs. So it looks like there was two legs up, a leg down, another leg up, leg down, leg up, and then another push down. Within those, there was like smaller legs. Like you could say there's one leg up, two small legs down, another one up, kind of a one leg sideways, another leg. And then this is how I drew it up. It wasn't very, it didn't yield that very many trades that I could find. And overall, the volume was kind of decent, but it didn't really result in too many trades. So it was just kind of a very sideways mess with a slight bullish uptrend. The only economic data that came out was around 5:30 Pacific Standard, which is roughly about right here where this gigantic spike goes up. That's where the unemployment claims came out. And around 6:45, which is about right here, there was a spike up and another push back down. That was the flash manufacturing PMI and services PMI. So both of those, other than the first one, didn't really, well, actually, both of them didn't really do too much to cause any weird volatility. There was no announcements from the administration, the Trump administration, no mid-morning meeting with any leaders to cause any crazy price action. I took a total of 2 trades and they were both profitable. And other than that, I didn't really mark too many trades. There were some arrows of trades that I thought in real time might have been a trade, but after time had passed and I was looking at it further, I don't really know that it was necessarily a good trade at all. So I'm going to get into the charts right now. So this is the pre-market. It was just choppy. There was this big, gigantic, nice, orderly sell-off break and tested the low of this orange down channel, bounces, pushes up really strongly. This is right about where the unemployment claims came out. Pushes up, creates I did this as a double count, so I said it's a first entry long, pullback, second entry long, or you could say it is a new high, first entry long, but it creates a double top, so you technically have to reset the count. Nevertheless, it looked like it was one leg pullback, second leg, second entry long here, but this is the pre-market, and I don't trade the pre-market, so it does look like a decent setup, except I'm not sure if I would have taken it because although it's bouncing off the EMA, I'm thinking it's still within this yellow down channel, so who's to say it might hit here and flush back down. So if something like this, I think I would be looking for a higher low confirmation. Creates a double bottom. It is a new low here. It's a first entry short, pullback, second entry short. In real time, I was wondering about this, but I just didn't like the way this closed. And it's technically one leg up, pullback, second leg. It's not the cleanest. You could say it's a failed breakout of this range, but I decided to leave it alone. Prices move down, pushes back up. First entry short, second entry short. It's a bad signal bar to go out short on. Pushes back up, kind of hits this sideways consolidation. You have a new high here. It's a first entry long pullback. Technically, you have a second entry long on this candle, but it closed below the EMA. It's not very convincing because it pushed to the high and pretty much closed near the midline or the middle of this candle. So it looks a little messy. Plus, I was thinking it looks like a visual first entry, kind of a pullback, maybe a second entry. So this would be like a third entry, but just nothing really convinced me to take a trade here. It's still early. I decided not to rush anything. Pushes up on this green up channel. Break, test the high, comes back. There's a second entry long here. It's a bad signal bar because it's red. And it's just kind of floating off in the middle of nowhere. You can make the argument that perhaps it's a triple test, but it doesn't feel very safe. So I left it alone. Pushes up in this orange up channel. No clean second entries here. Breaks. New high here. It's a first entry long pullback. Technically, I have a second entry long here. I didn't like the second entry long just because it's running into the EMA. It's clearly range bound. Even as it was developing, you could tell it's just kind of oscillating sideways, not a clear breakthrough. And then this one's just giving you more confidence that it is range bound. It's just kind of chopping sideways. So something that tells me just leave this alone. Nothing to try to, squeeze a trade out of here. Breaks down and starts moving down. Starts moving down to this yellow down channel, but I also had smaller channels drawn. It looks like it was one leg sideways consolidation, second leg down. Creates a new low here. It's a first entry short, pullback, creates a second entry short. I actually thought this was a possible trade because it's a break of this larger yellow down channel, which consists of 2 channels inside. It's a break and then a push down. Also, it's a break of the yellow down channel. I think it needs to test the low. It looks like it was developing in a range, not quite a triple test, but is also break of this orange up channel right here, broke, test the highs already. So it looks like it was a second attempt, and then it closed pretty nicely down. And from here to here, there's just enough room for a 1 point scalp. Certainly felt a little more aggressive. So, and it's kind of getting an EMA rejection, kind of a touch rejection, not the best, but close enough. So I thought it was a possible trade here. I didn't take it though. Move sideways, flushes down. So it's actually first entry long, and that's all you get. I drew this red transparent channel at the time because I was thinking, is there some kind of channel developing? It never really panned out, so I never colored it in. So I can actually just delete this now. But at the time, I was thinking, is it? So I draw a lot of channels and I leave them transparent until I'm more confident they're actually a channel, then I color them in. But otherwise, they stay as those transparent ones to act as guidelines to see if there's anything that's going to happen at any of those support and resistance lines. So it comes down to the bottom, it creates a first entry short, pull back. You technically have a second entry short here, but it's not a good signal bar. It's a little sideways for my taste. It's a new high, first entry long pullback, second entry long. Technically, a second entry long here is below the EMA though, so I still also didn't like this. And it's just looking sideways. It's kind of creating a wedge. So I'm just waiting to see which side it's going to break out of. And in this case, it broke to the bottom. Hits a localized low. First entry short pullback, second entry short, again, not a good signal bar. Pushes up, no real clean second entries. And it creates a localized new high. It's a first entry long pullback. I saw this in real time. It's technically a first entry long here, pullback, drops below, and creates a hidden second entry long here. So the reason I didn't mark it, and I just have an arrow, is something that I noticed because I'm thinking this is going to go long, maybe touch the EMA, but I was getting a different idea that perhaps this break of this green down channel could see a test of its low, because you see this in real time. Is it going to push back down and test the low? This yellow up channel doesn't exist yet, so I couldn't trust that as resistance, and then trust that there's more bullish bias than bearish, so definitely had to leave it alone. Pushes up, creates a localized high, creates a first entry long pullback, creates a second entry long, bad signal bar to go long on, follow through is nice, but then it flushes back down, and then it creates this higher low. This higher low is actually my first trade. So this is my thinking process. This is a potential fail breakout of this support because I first drew this yellow up channel and it was transparent at the time, and I'm thinking it's actually a little tighter. See if I can just draw a new one. It was something closer to this. So this red transparent one was the initial thought that I was playing. It was a breakout, and I'm thinking it's going to push back in. So it's first attempt up, pullback. This could be the second attempt up. I like this trade also because in real time, I'm thinking, so this yellow one doesn't exist, but I'm playing the red one. I'm thinking one tick below, pushes all the way up, engulfs this guy, actually breaks above it. So it was fully engulfing, then it closed slightly above, but still engulfing. So I actually like this trade. I entered, actually watched it open, flush down a little bit, and then I dropped my order to reduce my risk one tick, or actually just at the same highs as here to try to save a little bit. But I did wait for this candle to break above this candle first. So it broke above, I dropped my order in right here. I am at risk of missing this trade, but I was okay with it because it wasn't quite as bulletproof as I'd like. If it was a certain kind of setup that I really, really liked, then I wouldn't have mind putting it one tick above this guy to ensure I would get an entry. But I waited for the break above this guy, dropped it one pretty much at the same height as this. Fortunately, came back, picked me up, and then got me my quick scalp. And then it pushed up. So it's pushing, and now it's breaking back into the red channel. And then it just gets noisy here. I'm not really sure what's going on. And as it keeps going up, this sustained break of this red channel had me thinking that it's actually probably maybe something closer to this yellow up channel. It fits a little nicer. You have a new high, first entry long. Technically, you have a second entry long here, but your signal bar is an inside bar, so I don't like this as a signal bar. Just watching and waiting. No clean second entries. You do have a localized new low. First entry short pullback. Technically, have a second entry short here, but again, I just don't really like this setup. Clearly bullish bias, so you'd be counter trend trading. Pushes up, it pushes really aggressively on this. So I drew it as its own little separate channel here, a shortened trend channel within this bigger potential channel. But this doesn't fit quite. It's a little bit better, something like this. Okay, I'm not sure why it moved or drifted. Hits a high, comes down. It's the first entry long pullback. Technically, I have a second entry long here. I'm just going to let this play out. I want to see a higher low, ideally above the EMA. But you get a higher low here, but it's not really giving you anything, not confirming anything. Then it creates a new low. It's a first entry short pullback. Technically, you got your second entry short on this candle. But this isn't a good signal bar. So we see this in real time. I'm not thinking short yet. Then I see a confirmed second entry short. I'm still not thinking going short yet. Then it pushes up and pushes back down. I'm still not thinking short yet. And finally, it's starting to drift down. So I was thinking, was there some kind of setup here? Because it looked like it was a spike and then a downward channel. And it fits relatively nicely. But I'll admit, I didn't really think about it in real time that it was a good trade until maybe about here. But even then, in real time, when I see this, I'm not ready to take a trade. So it's not really marked as a trade. It was just something I noticed in real time, had a hunch, but I couldn't justify my hunch to jump in on a trade. Pushes down on this blue down channel. You really don't get any clean second entries. Kind of consolidates sideways. You have new low. It's a first entry short. Technically, you have a second entry short here, but when you see this in real time, you're not thinking short. You get a confirmed second entry short. You're thinking maybe this is going to fail, but even then, it's not bouncing off of anything. This green up channel isn't super confirmed yet, but now it is. But here, now I feel like the trade's been made, so I'm not really thinking of taking an entry here. Pushes up, pushes out. This is the pre-market high, and as you can see, it's making higher highs after the break. So I'm thinking it's a break. It could come back up and test this high. And on top of that, excuse me, on top of that, it was creating higher lows with each successive bounce. So I did have this as a trend line support. I had a few other trend lines, but I've since deleted because they don't matter. They weren't in play anymore because I initially had something like thinking is there a possible, I guess, channel here? But it never really played out. So just to keep things messy, keep things from becoming too messy, I've deleted those. Pushes up, break of the green up channel, test the high, comes back down. No real setup here. And just starting to drift upwards. So it looks like another spike and a channel, just like this was a red spike and a blue down channel. It's a green spike and an orange up channel. There's a second entry long here, but it's not a good signal bar. If you trusted this channel, this orange up channel, which I did, I needed a better signal bar though. So this one didn't form well enough for me, so I had to leave it alone. Pushes back out, creates a new high. It's a first entry long pullback. You got a second entry long here, but it's a bad signal bar. It's a doji, so I'm looking for a higher low. Pushes down, and you don't really get a higher low, but this is where I did take a trade. It looked like it was ranging. So this is my thought process. It looks like it's in a trading range. There's two legs down after this push on this yellow up channel. So it looks like one leg down bounces. This is the first break. This is the first attempt up. I'm expecting a second attempt up here to try to move into this orange again. It's also bouncing off the bottom of this trading range, and I'm thinking even though it broke below the EMA, it quickly reversed itself. There was a struggle here, so I'm thinking this could be a failed breakout, possible triple test, not quite a higher low, but in spirit, it's kind of like creating another push up. So I entered toward the very end of this candle. So as the 2000 ticks were counting down, it looked like it was going to close at the high. I dropped my order in pretty much at the high of this. It filled me and then pulled back by one tick. Then in the very next candle, it opened. It pushes down a little bit, but immediately flushes up, and I got my quick 1 point scalp. Wasn't going to try to attempt a runner on this. Looks like it would have worked for even 2 points or even 3 points. It pushes up and out. It kind of consolidates. Is a new high, first entry long. Technically, you have a second entry long here, but it's a first entry, and then it breaks above this guy. So it is a second entry, but it's an inside signal bar. So I really only saw it as a visual, more probably contextual correctly. First entry long, pullback. This is where I think your actual true second entry is. But the second entry is kind of bouncing off the middle of nowhere. There's no real support here other than here. And it's below the EMA. So I'm looking for a higher low now. And you kind of get a higher low here, but you don't know that's going to happen because you're looking for a break below this. It never does, and it flushes up. So now the trade's done. I'm not thinking of trying to enter this, which is up. Technically, you have a new low, first entry short, second entry short, second entry short. Technically, is about to fail here. And when it does, it feels like I'm pressing against the high of the day. So I don't want to tempt this. Then pushes up. Again, I have this transparent channel up. It looks like it's kind of following this channel. There's some white rune up here and some more clear space down here. It's a new high. It's a first entry long pullback. This is moved. Second entry long, and a potential triple test. Excuse me. But so it's like a triple test, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. Break of this green down channel. It made one attempt down, but it never tested the low. But you'd have a premature and early break here. So I wasn't sure if it was going to go back down, but it does look like a nice clean first entry, second entry. I'm not sure when I see this bar, I don't like the follow through. So I'm thinking I would have left it alone. And then this candle, if I did try to enter, likely would have stopped me out before it reverses back up. Kind of hits the high. This channel doesn't feel very valid anymore. So I did leave it here because I was thinking, by the time I got here, for sure, I don't think it's valid anymore. But I was thinking, was this channel in play? So I've since deleted it. Starts moving down. First entry long, technically a second entry long. It's below the EMA, bad signal bar. I don't want to try to take anything there. Pushes down to this yellow down channel, breaks to the low side, double bottom, first entry short. And that's all you get before it kind of presses down and makes lower lows. And this 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch off this trend line I was playing at the time. So I was watching carefully because when this broke through, I'm thinking, is it going to push back in? But all I have right now is a trend line because this acting as a channel never fit quite right. So I didn't know what to make of it. I was looking for a potential bounce, but then if there did bounce, I don't necessarily think there's a trade yet. I need a bounce to tell me to get ready to see if there's a setup. The prices continue moving down. It kind of pushes into the close. But this is also toward the very last 10 minutes. 10 minutes actually starts here. And I definitely don't want to be taking any trades at that time. So kind of how I saw the charts today. Didn't really mark up too many. Didn't seem like there were too many trades that set up, or at least trades that I felt comfortable taking as a setup. And I was profitable on 2 trades. So definitely it was kind of a choppy day. Hopefully tomorrow yields a little bit better and easier trading. So hopefully that was helpful.